What's going on, Sofa Squad? If you're here because you'd like to see another build guide, and this time a shotgun one, then stay tuned. That's coming up next.
Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Whee.
Welcome back, all you guys and girls. So, yeah, I've kind of had a little muck around, and I've made a bit of a beast. A bit of a beast that is also a complete glass cannon. So this one is kind of open to interpretation. You can muck about and tweak this guy as you want. As long as you keep a few things in place, he will still do the job. So yeah, let's get on with the build. So as you can see, this guy uses a shotgun and he has a very powerful name, the One Pump Chump. I thought it was quite apt. And if you have a little look, here is what the stats are going to be. So what I've done with this character, and I've not done anything really like this before, to be perfectly honest, because this guy is very glass cannon. If you wanted to change it, I would not blame you in the slightest. Kind of muck around with these attributes and put them where you feel they'll be best. What I've done is coordination max, awareness max, so those two are quite standard so far. Intelligence, I've got that about halfway. If you can put it higher, that is great. And then I've put a stat on that 9 out of 10 people never ever use. And that's just because I wanted this guy to play slightly differently to my other characters. And if you know what speed does, then you'll know basically it's mainly there for kind of getting around the field. So you can move and travel a lot further than you usually would be able to without any of this on. So what I'm using this guy for is to kind of get to the either mid or back areas and clear house. Now in the right builds, so with the right people around him, this guy absolutely destroys every enemy out there. It is ridiculous how much damage he actually does. So like I said, he has the quirk 2 pump chump. So he's called 1 pump chump and he's got this quirk. I liked it. It's quite cool. I've not used this on any other build at all. I thought it was awful. This guy makes it kind of work. So basically what it is, you start combat with 2 AP for the first turn, and then afterwards you lose 1 AP and 15% hit chance. So it's kind of a bit bad. If you want to pick serial killer instead or something else, go for it. I've been trying a build where I try to get the turns done really quick. This guy, along with a few other actual builds, say for example the SMG build that I created, which I'll chuck up top now, they just clean house really efficiently and fast. Most of the time, if it's not like a complete main mission or something along those lines, you'll get it done in 1 turn. If not, probably 2, at most I would say 3 if you're very unlucky. But yeah, it works really well. For the background, I've picked Goat Killer just because I wanted that extra little bit of crit. I think it works well with this build. Again, if you want something different, go for it. I think this one's probably best. If not, then maybe go for the one that does a bit more damage to either the squishies or the robots. Now, for the inventory, I've gone very easy on this. So if you have better gear, go for it. I've put on a commando helmet, and then I've put on a merc armor and commando legs. Basically you want a bit more combat speed, you want a little bit of armor about yourself, and up here obviously you've got a little bit of crit chance. Works well if you had late game, say spectrum armor or something along those lines. You might want to chuck that on instead, or if you felt he was too squishy, maybe put some, maybe even tanking gear on. It is completely your choice. Down here, another easy one, I've just got 3% crit chance on. But it does the job. We've got a little bit of extra crit about ourselves now, and that's all we needed. The main thing for this, and this is bar none what I believe is very possibly one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and that is the Jackhammer pump shotgun. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous how much damage this puts out. One thing to note, which I probably should have said a second ago, if you wanted to change this to give yourself another AP, that would also be really good. So if you had something that's got that on, so say for example the anabolic injector or something along those lines, then chuck that in instead. But yeah, coming back to this one, basically what I've got on here is the Jackhammer Shotgun, and if you've never used this, if memory serves me right, you can get it from Chibus, I believe, so you've got to be in favour with the 100 Sons family, and he's a vendor on the world map, so one of those ones that's kind of the shack with the glowing lights. Whenever you see him, I hope you've saved up, you're going to want to buy everything he's got. Everything he's got is amazing. This is one of the best things he sells. Definitely pick it up. Now, the mods on this are not that great, to be perfectly honest. Like I said in my last one, I've kind of been running that, but I've got a few nice things on it. I would say put as high a range scope on it as you can. If you can get higher than this, go for it, as this is not the best. With this one, I've put the crit damage at 0.3 and hit chance -5, the computer assisted laser sight. That is a really good one if you want to up your damage a little bit. The magazine, and this is probably one of the best magazines in the game, if not the best to be perfectly honest, and that's the quickfire mag. This makes it so that the AP to attack is -1. So this shotgun, if you have a little look down there, is dealing at the moment 160 damage times 3, and it costs 2 points to shoot, and it's in an area. It's a big deal. This gun is really underrated. If you've not used it, try it. You won't be disappointed. And finally, just down here, like I said, a little bit more range. If you can get even more than this, my mods are running very low as I've done way too many builds and I need to stock up. The reason we have this one on, the neutralizer, is because the Jackhammer Shotgun, like I said, is bar none one of the best guns in the game. But if you look, it's got one very distinct drawback. Its penetration is 16. If you're trying to fight something like a Scorpatron, this is not what you want to use. It doesn't hit it very hard at all. If you wanted to muck around with your character and try and get a bit more penetration or something, you could do. But I didn't see the point really. I've just chucked on a really good one for a secondary, just in case I ever need to do that. But to be perfectly honest, the guy is not there for that specific role. This guy is there for moving around the battlefield, finding clumps of ads and destroying them. And you will get off at least 2 or 3 shots every single round, and you will just pop every single enemy that is in your way. Now, the skills that I've put on this guy is mechanics, just because I think it works really well. Like I said, it kind of gives you a bit of extra damage against the robots, and it kind of filled a spot in my team, so it worked well for myself. Small arms, you will want to max that completely out. And survival, put that up as high as you can, just so that you'll get extra damage against any of the animals and stuff. Now, the perks I've put on here, because obviously this guy is so squishy, so squishy. Like I said, if you didn't feel like this would work for you, move a few points away from your attributes and put them into strength, just so that he's a little bit tougher, or put some gear on him that makes him a bit tougher. It is completely your choice. The main thing about this build is having basically the Jackhammer Shotgun and just going to town. So over here I've put on healthy, just for a little bit of extra health, and evasion 5, because we have really good evasion as it is. Down here I've put on shredder shot. You will not use that much. If you don't want to pick this up, don't worry, it's completely your choice. When I do use this, I use this on my secondary weapon more than my primary, because obviously the primary has got that mag. Just over here you've got clear cover, that's really good. Shotguns do 100% damage versus cover. Draw, obviously another really good one. Your first attack after reloading an empty weapon costs no AP. Devastation, which is bar none the best one on this actual skill tree, and that is shotgun attacks gain 25% damage for each enemy hit by the same shot. basically, the more clumped up these ads are, the more damage you're going to do. But with this gun, pretty much nothing survives. As long as you're aiming at one or two people, as long as you're aiming at a couple of people, they're going to fall over. They really will. I'll show you a little clip now, just to show you what I mean. Right, so as you kind of saw from that, the guy's stealthy. He can move around, he can get the shots off, and then obviously he is a little bit left out. If you're not going to move him into cover, he probably would possibly die. But you can kill up to, I don't know, maybe 8 ads a turn, maybe more than that if they're all clumped up. That's just with one character. So as long as your other characters are doing their jobs, you're going to clear the waves within 1 or 2 turns. Now over here you've got counter-offensive. Like I said, this is why you might want to make your guy a little bit tankier. So if you did, it's attacking a melee enemy on the turn after they hit you deals an extra 50% damage. Like I said, this guy at the moment may well not survive that. But if you wanted to make it so he's a bit tankier, if you weren't confident that you could complete the round in 1 or 2 rounds, make your guy a bit tankier. Just down here I've picked up this one here, so you've got the extra damage again, and this one over here, repairing friendly vehicles, robots and deployables, grants +5 armor for 3 turns. Don't worry too much about that one. I put that one on when I put a secondary on with him to actually make him as a tank repairer, and then I realised he's just not cut out for that in the slightest, to be perfectly honest. I didn't find that it worked well because he was always out of position, and it just kind of made him a bit useless on the field. So with this one, put that anywhere else. You might even want to put it all the way up the top here into crit resistance or armor, I would say. Obviously down here you've got your survivability, so if you have got up to 6, I would say definitely chuck that on, just to give yourself a little bit of extra damage again to animals and mutants. Right guys and girls, I hope that's helped you a little bit. I hope you'll actually try this build or something similar. If you've not tried this shotgun, that is the main thing you want to do. Even if you hate this build and you want to completely change it, try this shotgun, because like I said, it absolutely decimates everything in its path, and if you have a really good team around yourself, you will clear the waves much faster with builds such as this. So say for example you had this, and then you had the sniper build that I've created, and you had the SMG build, and as well as that, if you've got either the guy that I made first, or you make a melee character really crazy tanky, then you will absolutely dominate these and clear things really fast, get that XP fast, and just level up really crazy good. Like I said, it's a little bit different to my normal build. I have never specced into speed on anything, so I thought I'd give it a little whirl. I actually quite enjoyed this, I really did. But like I said, it's personal preference. If you wanted to change this up, go for it. It is completely your choice, but the build does definitely work if you've got a good team around yourself. Right guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, why not drop a like, because that really helps the channel out. And as always, if you're not subscribed and you're after that Xbox and soon Xbox Series X content, then hit that subscribe and hit that bell icon, and I'll be bringing you regular content. As always, take care. I'll see you on the next day.